What's good in the Milky Way Hood Guardians? It's your boy D Meat, and I'm back at it again with my first Destiny video. And today I'm going to be talking about Destiny 2 predictions and wants. What I want from Destiny 2 and what I predict will be in Destiny 2. So let's kick it off right now with your powers, your subclasses. So, quite frankly, I think in Destiny 2, at the beginning, you're going to be able to wield the 3 subclasses that you earned in the Taken King. So each character's 3rd subclass is what you're going to be wielding. So the Void for the Hunter, Arc for the Warlock, and Solar for the Titan. The reason why I say this, what little bit of evidence I do have, is when you look at Ikora in the teaser trailer or the full cinematic trailer that they showed off recently, Ikora used an Arc melee. So Zavala and K6 were present, but you did not see them use any abilities whatsoever throughout that entire trailer. And the thing is, I'm not sure if Cade or Zavala even knows how to use those 3rd subclasses if they have that ability, but you know for sure Ikora actually had those abilities. So you knew that by playing the game, but it's also confirmed to you in the trailer. Right. Another prediction that I have, I kind of think, and I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I feel like this could possibly happen because it's already happened. But I think you will learn more abilities in the wild. So pretty much exactly the same way as you learned all of your abilities from, your Void for the Hunter and Solar for the Titan and whatnot. I think you're going to learn a lot more of those abilities in the wild. I don't know if it'll be like a Mega Man style ability where you fight a boss, you kill him, and pick up a new technique and everything. I don't know. That would be cool. Or it could just be one, sort of quest like they did with the Taken King where you learn this ability and now you just have to kind of unlock the rest of the abilities under that subclass, which actually would be pretty damn nice. And just to mention a little bit of evidence that kind of confirms this, I mean, there's so many different types of characters that use different abilities, but let's say Eris Morn, she is actually embedded with a sort of hive ability. She actually has the hive green eyes, the 3 eyes, has the little black stuff creeping down it like she's crying dark evil sorrows all the time. The Taken King actually had the Taken power or Ascended power, whatever you want to call it. The Awoken Queen, if you remember in the Taken King cinematic, she actually did what I like to call a space magic Hadoken. She did the space magic Hadoken, and that was pretty cool. Even though I was going to say Siva, that's not necessarily a power, it's more like technology, but you can consider that a power. So imagine if you had some sort of, I don't know, Siva type abilities, that would actually be pretty damn dope itself. Okay, moving on to the next one. I personally think that you're going to have limited revives, and basically what I mean by that is if you get down a certain amount of time, let's say like 5 times in one little match or something like that by, I don't know, a whole bunch of ascended wizards or something like that. Let's say you get down 5 times and on the 5th time it's a long cooldown period. You can't revive yourself for a while. Maybe they make it where your teammate can come and revive you, but you can't revive yourself anymore for a little while. I think that's a big possibility, and it kind of makes sense because when you look at that trailer, going back to the trailer, same thing with the powers, is that it looks like the Cabal might have shielded the Traveler. So he may actually be cut off from you and any other Guardian or Guardian's ghost. And the ghost's main function is to kind of bring you back to life. That's really the only thing that it can do other than unlock doors. That's about it. So when you really think about it, if you kind of take that ability away from the ghost and he can only use the light that he maybe has in himself, it would make sense that he can only revive you oh so many times, or maybe your teammate can come and revive you, and maybe it'll cost him a little bit of his super or something like that. You never know with anything like that. So moving on to my next prediction. I believe all your previous weapon types will come back. So your auto rifles, your hand cannons, your scout rifles, pulse rifles, swords, missile launchers, shotguns, fusion rifles, all of those weapon types, I believe, will come back in the next game. I mean, of course, that's an easy prediction. But I think they will come back along with 2 new weapon types. I think we may see submachine guns in the game. We may even see grenade launchers in the game. Grenade launchers and submachine guns are something that Destiny hasn't done, but if I'm not mistaken, it's been done in Halo. So, and a friend of mine just brought this up to me, that there was a big difference between Halo 1 and Halo 2. Like, there was a massive difference, and it was just like Halo 1 was good, and then Halo 2 came out, and it was just worlds apart. It was just so much better. So I can imagine Bungie following the same footsteps of their previous game and just kind of doing the same thing. Like, yeah, we made this game and it was good. Now we're going to make it even better. And I think he even mentioned to me that they have dual wielding. I honestly think that that is something that would happen in the game. I really believe that is something that would happen in the game. Imagine dual wielding, like a SMG fusion rifle type of gun, and just demolishing people with that gun, like holding 2 small pocket infinities and just fucking dominating. That would actually be pretty fucking cool when you think about it, right? So this is my other prediction, and you can take this one any way that you want it. But what if every character had the throwing knife? Remember, at one point in time, in the original game, in the original Destiny, when they first showed it off, you had the Warlock, and he actually had the knife as a melee. Not necessarily the throwing knife itself, but just like a knife melee. Because that was actually, they decided to just stick that to the hunter and leave it there instead of everybody having that particular melee. So what if they change it up and everybody gets that melee? That would actually be pretty cool, and still give you the option to maybe have a throwing knife. That would actually be pretty cool, because now everybody has a throwing knife and everybody has a grenade. So, like I said, you never know. And I want to bring this one up because this one is I'm going into my wants, so it's a perfect time to kind of bring this one up. The Vex and Methlicast, and the Vex in general, along with the Stranger, all have one thing in common: the ability of time. So, as far as the Stranger is concerned, she has shown that she has like a bit of time manipulation, as far as an ability. The Vex, we already know, can flow in and out of time. And if I'm not mistaken, because I don't have this gun, because every time I read this raid, I never got lucky enough to get this gun. But the Vex Methlicast is a gun that was crafted for human hands. It was crafted for human hands, imagine that. And it made its way back to this time period. So imagine that. This gun has traveled through time. That's pretty impressive. So imagine if we just had ability, I don't know, to do something like maybe in a short burst, not necessarily controlling time or stopping time, but just some sort of time ability. I can't think of anything in particular right now, but that would actually be pretty cool to kind of maybe help you out, just stop and give you that second chance that you when you think about the limited revives, that may actually help you out a lot. So next up is weapon pickups in Crucible. So basically in Crucible right now, if you kill a Guardian, everything that was attached to that Guardian, whether he was using a sniper rifle or the Vex Methlicast or something like that, it automatically gets destroyed along with them. So what if they did it where that doesn't happen, and you can actually pick up those weapons? Especially for somebody like me who doesn't have the Vex, I would probably pick it up all the time. But if you could pick up those weapons And even possibly if they were able to pull that off in PvE, like the line rifles that those goddamn Fallens always use and never miss with, that would actually be pretty cool. Or even the Hive with their little void needle guns that they use. I would like to pick that up and use that just to see how it is, because that would actually be pretty cool. And I like I said, that is more of a want than a prediction. So moving on, more quests in PvP and PvE, and more side quests. This one is a given because I think this is, of course, going to happen anyway. They've already said that it's going to happen. But more quests, like if you played Mass Effect, or if you played Horizon Zero Dawn, you know exactly what I mean by that. The way that they structured the quests and all of the side missions, it works so well, and it gives you so much more to work with as far as leveling up and XP. You gain a lot by doing these quests, and they can be very interesting and very enjoyable. So moving on, I would like to see them use their story in different type of entertainment or a different type of media. So like if they just branched out and did maybe a few comic book runs, or if they branched out and did like a animated movie or something like that, that would actually be pretty good, because the downfall of Destiny 1 was that it had no story. And that's half true. It had story, they just didn't put it in the game. They put it all in Grimoire cards. So I would rather them, if they're going to do it again, if they did it twice, put, let's say, I don't know, 5% of it in an animated movie and another 5 in a comic book run. That would actually be pretty good, you know? And honestly, this would not have been the first time Bungie would have done this, because I believe they did this in Halo. They had an animated movie, and they had a live action movie with Mike Coulter from Luke Cage. So they've done it before, and I think this is something that they may end up doing. I think Destiny has become big enough for them to try to pull it off now. So moving on, I want them to stop nerfing. Like, please, Bungie, stop nerfing. If something is overpowered, the answer is not to nerf it, because now you're going to make it where nobody's going to use it ever again. I think the answer lies in buffing everything else around it. If you buff it, you'll bring everything up to the level of that weapon or character, and now you can challenge that weapon and or character, you know? So moving on to my other want, more planets, towns, and ruins. This is a given. This is actually probably more of a prediction, but we're going to get more towns, we're going to get more planets, we're going to get more areas to interact and pick up quest lines and everything. I think that's really mainly a prediction. I mean, because they've actually come out and said that. But I would actually like to see an expanded map, not necessarily open world. Like, I think Mass Effect has a bit of a success with this. Like, each planet you go to has a big sizable map. It's not open world, it's not Grand Theft Auto, it's not even Batman, but it's like these small size maps. I want to say bigger than Destiny, but it's enough where you can explore and kind of find out about the characters in the story. Also, I would like to see more characters that I'm not shooting that I can interact with. And basic an example is Barracks. I mean, Barracks is one of those characters. So give me a Cabal character like that. That would actually be pretty damn nice when you think about it. But yo, check it out. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you comment, subscribe, and definitely hit that like button for your boy. I'll see you Guardians later. Peace.